Alright everyone, buckle up because today's story is one you won't soon forget. I'm your host, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so we can stay in touch. Today we're diving into a tale from my past that still gives me chills to this day. It all started back when I was just starting out at TaCo-Computer store in Mexico City. 5 years ago, fresh off the training and with a certificate in hand, I was ready to hit the ground running. The store was small but cozy, nestled in a bustling neighborhood where technology meets everyday life. It was my first day on the job, and everything seemed normal until around 1 p.m. As I settled into my routine, cleaning dust off computers and setting up systems for customers, a man walked in with a specific request. He wanted his hard drive wiped clean and a brand new copy of Windows 7 installed. There wasn't anything unusual about this request, it happened often enough. But little did I know, that day was going to be different. I took the laptop to the back for some privacy and started working on it right away. First, I gave the case a thorough cleaning, removing years worth of dust. Then, I booted up the system and prepared myself for the task ahead. But just as I was about to start wiping that hard drive clean, chaos erupted at the front of the store. The sound of shattering glass echoed through the shop, followed by shouts and screams. My boss was yelling at someone in a panic, telling them to get down. The air was thick with tension and fear. Before I could even process what was happening, a figure rushed towards me, brandishing an AK rifle variant. Adrenaline surged through my veins as I instinctively dropped to the ground, placing my hands behind my neck and avoiding any eye contact. "What did you do to that computer?" The voice boomed over the computer. The voice boomed over the commotion, sending shivers down my spine. "I didn't do anything," I exclaimed, trying to remain calm. "I was just cleaning it. Lee's cabron." Duritus. The barrel of the gun pressed against my back as if to emphasize his point. I begged for a chance to prove myself. "Check it yourself. Everything is still intact." The pressure from the gun eased slightly, and I could hear another person enter, taking the laptop away. For what felt like an eternity, we waited in silence. The tension was unbearable until finally they retreated back out of the store. Once the initial shock wore off, I stood up slowly, my legs trembling beneath me. My boss was on the phone, crying hysterically, but through the chaos, I couldn't hear anything else. It wasn't until later that I realized sirens were blaring outside. Police must have been called right away. But at that moment, all I could focus on was finding out what happened to the customer who had walked in. My heart sank when I noticed he was gone, and it didn't take long for me to find out why. The client turned out to be a cartel member, and his body was discovered just hours later. My boss wasn't allowed to show me the security footage, but even without seeing it, I could imagine what had happened. If you're wondering how this story ended up on my mind today, it's because something like this sticks with you forever. The experience taught me a lesson that can't be learned from books. In dangerous places, every day is unpredictable and life-threatening situations can happen out of nowhere. I never got to learn what was stored on that hard drive. I'm better off not knowing. But the encounter left an indelible mark on my psyche. It's a stark reminder of how quickly things can spiral out of control in places where violence is all too common. What would you do if someone pointed a gun at your head over something as mundane as computer repairs? Can you imagine the fear and adrenaline coursing through every fiber of your being? This story might seem far-fetched, but it's real. And while I've moved on since then, there are moments when the memories come flooding back. If you found this story as gripping and unsettling as I did, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this one. Who knows? Maybe your life has some incredible tales to tell too. Let me know in the comments below. Stay safe out there, folks, and thanks for tuning in.